Oh, yay! Yay! Amazing. Sit. Sit. Okay. All right, well, Lucky gets to be a part of the video today. But anyway, my name's Eli. And if you're new to my channel's all about, or Project Bloom is all about all things marine biology, research, and travel, the adventures that takes me through and the lessons that I learn along the way. There's Lucky over there. But anyway, I was just recently selected for a Fulbright scholarship in the Philippines, and that will happen in 2021. And my project focuses on understanding coral restoration programs over there, and my project is specifically looking at giant clam restocking programs and figuring out how we can improve them with 3D modeling. So just wanted to give a little bit of a background before I dive into my story with this, but today I kind of want to talk about the things that I learned reaching out to affiliates. So I started reaching out around 5 months in advance. So I think it was like May before the October deadline, which is kind of excessive, but I knew that if I did not solidify an affiliate, then all of that work would have been for nothing, which I did not want. So I had never done this before. Like, I'm only an undergraduate. I've never reached out to professors to find like a graduate supervisor. This was so new to me and no one had ever told me what to do. So I think I sent out like 20 emails. I sent out like email after email after email to all of these professors in the Philippines, and I didn't get responses from most of them because I didn't really know what I was doing. But as I kept sending emails, I kept learning as I went, and my responses, I guess, were improving bit by bit. It was really difficult in the Philippines, or at the universities I was specifically reaching out to, because their websites weren't up to date. So I would email someone and they would have been retired like 10 years earlier or 5 years earlier. And I would have been working on this professor for so long, and then I would find that out. So you just have to be persistent. If you don't have a solid connection with someone, you can still find one. I found one. It just takes a lot of time and effort, and you have to be willing to put in the work. So this is probably a bit more applicable to the research award. Again, I don't know what exactly, how exactly the English teaching assistant process goes with Fulbright, but what I would recommend to people that are interested in pursuing a research award and you're trying to find an affiliate that you don't necessarily have a connection with, this is what you would do for like undergraduate getting involved in research or graduate getting involved with research. Start first looking at your geographic region where you're trying to work and find universities around that area, and then go to your specific field of study and within that college or university and look through their department in your specific area and start looking at the professors, start looking at their areas of research, then start clicking on different professors' profiles and start looking at their selected publications. So their selected publications are super important because they choose these to kind of, well, as far as I know, these publications are the ones that sort of encompass their research and what they have been doing more recently, as far as I understand. And so once you've identified some interesting publications under these professors, kind of look through the titles, and the ones that interest you, open them up and look through at least the abstract. And if the abstract's still interesting to you, I would read the paper. I mean, keep going with it, because the more you know about what they do, the easier it's going to be to reach out to them and make an argument of why they should work with you. So then once you've started to gather some publications and you've gotten a bit of a better idea of who you want to work with, you then should start reaching out to your professors. So the way that I did this, and this is just coming from me, I still don't have much experience with this, and I'm sure it could be much improved, but no one really told me how to do this, so I just kind of went for it. So what I did was I kind of structured my email as I had been told when you're writing a cover letter, I kind of framed it this way, is you think about the Barney song. So I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. So I love you, tell them why you're interested in what they do. Talk about them first and talk about why you are interested in what they are doing. This is really important to know that like you're not just reaching out to them for your own benefit. This is going to be a collaboration. So then you talk about you love me. So why your experience and why your interests really overlap with them, why you might be a good candidate to work with them, some of your relevant experience that might relate to them, and then the we're a happy family, why you guys are going to be great matches for one another. If you want to send a cover letter, that might be a better approach, but in different countries, I don't know like how much emails are looked into. I'm still learning about this, but I didn't send a cover letter. I didn't need it, but I'm sure this varies from country to country and culture to culture. Along with that email, I sent my CV and I also sent my thesis. So I already had some kind of research going on that was really relevant to some of the professors that I reached out to, and I sent them my prospectus of my thesis and said, hey, I do some of this similar research to you, and this is kind of my idea of where I want to take that. Are you interested in collaborating? And that worked out towards the end as I started figuring it out more and more. That's what got me a response. But just remember, just keep trying. It's probably going to differ a lot from country to country in how you should reach out to them. I mean, I'm sure some countries you might even have to like find phone numbers to call, but just keep trying different things and just try. You will eventually find an affiliate. You will eventually find someone that wants to work with you because your project is awesome and you care about it and it's relevant. You just have to find someone that has the time, and you just have to let them know why they should care. So amazing. If you made it to this point, congratulations. You've made it through the hardest part of the process, in my opinion. So if you have solidified your affiliate and you have someone that wants to work with you, you then should set up a meeting with that affiliate to, first of all, show that you're a real person and that you actually are reputable. So it's really important to kind of follow up very quickly to show that they've made a good choice in saying that they want to work with you. And then you can really start to get the ball rolling with your project. So really talk over your idea with them and get their thoughts on what they think. It's so much more valuable to actually say that verbally and talk it over in an actual conversation than just emails, because there's so much, you don't hear all the thoughts in the back of their head about what they're thinking. And you can also start to get a much better idea of what's going to be more relevant to both your professor's research and the specific region you're trying to work in, and what's going to be most impactful and what's going to be most relevant to the culture as well. So when I set up my first meeting with my affiliate that wanted to work with me at the University of the Philippines, Marine Science Institute, I left it completely up to him when he wanted to have a meeting, mostly because he wasn't the fastest at responding, and I just wanted to get this thing moving because it was just stressing me out to not have a clear idea of what this project was going to look like. So he ended up setting the meeting for 11 p.m. on some night of the week, and I waited online for half an hour for him to get on, which is totally fine. It's totally fine. I did not care. I was just happy that someone wanted to work with me and that he was a professor of the Philippines that wanted to work with me. I did not care about waiting 30 minutes. But that was a great learning experience, learning that things in the Philippines move a bit more slowly, which I've had that told to me over and over again, which again is fine. It was just something to learn. So once I actually talked to him and I was able to really verbalize my project to him, he told me his thoughts, and he actually kind of told me that my initial project, I wanted to work with artificial reefs. I had a lot of experience with artificial reefs with my current thesis, and I just wanted to continue working on that in a different setting. And he kind of told me, he was like, you know what, artificial reefs aren't really relevant here. Artificial reefs have actually been outlawed in the Philippines, which I found out through him. And there aren't many artificial reefs along the coast where the Marine Lab is located. So 2 huge reasons why this was not going to be my best project. I could have still worked with it, but he told me this was probably not the best move. So I trusted him in picking a more relevant project that stuck more with my experience. So he told me he's very involved with the giant clam restocking program at the University of the Philippines. For those that don't know, many species of giant clams are very endangered, and these clams vary a lot in size, from about like this big to the largest one, which is like this big. So that's mine that I'm going to be working on. It's called Tridacna gigas, however you say it, but that's the largest species. But these restocking programs are really important because these giant clams are actually so large that they almost act in the same way as an artificial reef, in that they provide all of this surface that things like corals and invertebrates can settle on, like an artificial reef does. So these restocking programs also act as coral restoration programs, as they provide new settlement for things to settle on, like corals. So my professor had these established restocking programs, and he wanted to know more about what these restocking programs were doing. So I had the experience of 3D modeling, and so he told me it would be really cool if, instead of using 3D modeling for artificial reefs, we could use 3D modeling for giant clams. And so we could figure out a little bit more about what these restocking programs are doing to the reef. So this was like the perfect kind of project. This was a really great moment after having this meeting, was now I had something that was really relevant to my experience, something that was really pertinent to what my professor does, and something that was really, really relevant to not just the environment of the northwestern Philippines where I'll be working, but also the rest of the Philippines, and also to the culture of it. This was like a great move and a great development in my Fulbright application process, and that just goes to show the power of this single meeting and actually talking to your affiliate. So thank you guys so much for watching, and first of all, I really want to emphasize that I am not representative of the Fulbright program, and this video or this channel is not representative of the Fulbright program or any affiliated organization. That's very important to recognize. And I also want to emphasize that this is just the way that I did things. This just happened to be something that worked for me. I'm still learning about how to do this. I am not even in graduate school yet, but I figured out a way that did work. I'm by no means an expert in reaching out to supervisors and reaching out to potential affiliates. There's so many things to learn and be better on, and there's also, like, every country, every person, every supervisor is going to prefer very different things. This just happened to work for me, and I think that's still useful to someone out there. I think there's still lessons to be learned throughout this story of mine. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And if you like content like this, anything related to marine biology, research, and traveling, then please subscribe. This next year is going to be a really cool, exciting adventure, and I'm just so excited. If I haven't emphasized it, if I haven't emphasized it enough, I'm so excited to have this channel as a way to broadcast those experiences and lessons learned throughout the next year when I go to the Philippines and conduct this really exciting coral restoration project. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world, and thank you for watching.